आई मिलन की बेला देखो आई।
सुनिए 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 आपकी अपनी मिलन के साथ ये है मिलन टॉकीज।
घड़ी मिलन की आई।
मिलन टॉकीज।
Welcome to yet another episode of Milan Talkies with RJ Milan, brought to you by FunAsia Network, produced by वैशाली ठक्कर। हर हफ्ते की तरह इस हफ्ते है हमारे साथ कोई खास मेहमान। every time I try कि आपके पास कोई ऐसी शख्सियत को लेके आए who is different from the crowd, कुछ हटके हैं। और आज एक ऐसे हटकी मोहतरमा है हमारे साथ जो बिल्कुल ही हटकी है और हम सबकी नहीं खुद की ही फेवरेट है। और शी इज लिविंग एवरी गर्ल्स ड्रीम। हर लड़की का सपना होता है कि दुल्हन बने, सुंदर सी, बाद वाले बीवी बने, वाइफ बने, वो बात की बात होती है। मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स वी गेट मैरिड ओनली बिकॉज वी वांट टू बी अ ब्यूटीफुल ब्राइड, एंड देयर इज दिस वन गर्ल दैट आई नो जो हम सबका सपना जी रही है। लेट्स वेलकम हर ऑन टू द एयरवेव्स ऑफ फनेशिया रेडियो, क्षमा बिंदु। आपका स्वागत है। वेलकम टू फनेशिया नेटवर्क। कैसी हैं?
Thank you so much. Whenever people ask me how I am, I only have one sentence to say: I'm very happy.
That's the best way to answer. I think that summarizes everything. Usually लोग बोलते हैं I'm okay, I'm fine, but being happy is the ultimate state of being, I guess. Right, Kshama?
True, very true.
Right. So I also want to mention, I think most of the people tabloids के through जानते हैं कि Kshama Bindu is the first woman in India to practice sologamy, like at such a big platform where सबको मतलब in today's time, it's 2022, and I'm sure you have had your share of struggles and everything else, but you took your stand and you did what you wanted to keep yourself happy, so that आगे कोई आपको पूछे तो आप बोलो कि I am happy. Kshama, how did it happen? Like कब ठनका कि you are self-sufficient and you just want to be married to yourself?
I guess I'm self-sufficient that I felt way back when I was very young.
Okay.
I always used to enjoy my own company. I am ambivert. I like being social. I like being very social.
Okay.
But then there is a time when I want to be alone and recharge my battery to be with people.
Right.
So I was always enjoying my own company, but after 2 relationships, I realized that this is something which is not working out.
Okay.
And I was actually from childhood, I was seeing the pattern, what happens after marriage in the life of a woman and men both, how patriarchy plays a role. And as I have this tattoo, which is a graveyard, it says patriarchy, rest in peace, patriarchy and gender roles.
Oh,
so
wow.
I always objected. I always protested whenever it was about patriarchy or gender roles, and I never saw myself fitting in that scenario. Being someone's wife, making tea in the morning, taking care of everyone, taking care of the guests, and applying sindoor or wearing mangalsutra for someone else for their long lives. Fasting karwa chauth or tej, any other such rituals. I never saw myself fitting into that patriarchal society. And as you said, every woman wants to be a bride.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a bride. I always wanted to look beautiful, wear the joda and the chura and everything.
Right.
And when I got to know that there is a concept of sologamy where you can marry yourself, but you don't have to become someone's wife, I was very happy knowing that okay, I do not have to fit into the patriarchal society, yet I can be my own bride. So when I first heard about it, I didn't feel like this is something, oh my god, this is something so weird, or why people are doing it. I was just happy. I'm very open to these things. So there was a time when I realized, after a lot of, like, since childhood, after seeing lots of suppression, after seeing lots of patriarchy and the division into the gender roles, I was like, I'm never going to fit in as a wife into any family, and so I decided to be my own.
Geo or Gene though, right? That's a concept. So, Kshama, tell me this. Like when you decided, like you're going to be on your own and live your life. Was your family like supportive in the beginning, or were they like, because we just spoke about the patriarchy and the misogyny and how the society works. It's expected of a girl, especially in India, कि आप एक सांचे में रहो, एक mold के हिसाब से चलो, right? So how did it work out for you? Was it easy convincing friends and
So
family?
actually, it was not that hard because I have always been taking steps for myself in whatever I feel happy since I was young.
Okay.
So they were already like, the first time I did something which was not acceptable, the second time I did it, the third time I did it. Now they were used to it,
Yeah.
and they had this thought in their head: if you are doing something which is making you happy, then we are happy for you.
I'm so happy for you, Kshama, and I must tell you कि you are one of the rarest people who are lucky enough कि इतनी support मिले in such a bold decision which is ahead of its time. It's so I know it's not like practice किया है बहुत लोगों ने history में, but talking about India, it's not even legal right now, right?
Yeah, it has no legal standing in India right now. But coming to the parents part, I would just like to say one thing. Like, my parents got married at a very early age, like they had a child marriage.
Okay.
So belonging to a native place, coming to a city, when I started growing up, they were growing up with me. I more of believe it is a children's duty too, when they're learning, when they're educating, when their parents is educating themselves, their children's, they also need to pass on the same to their parents. There is no age of learning. So
That's
was
profound.
always, yeah, it was always a friendship relationship between me and my family, where I would learn something, anything about law, anything about media, anything about education system. I will discuss it in my family. Initially they would be like very narrow, no, like we cannot accept it, what is happening in society. But
Yeah.
I actually made my family watch Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdhan, which is a LGBTQIA plus movie,
Yeah.
and I made them discuss it with me. So they are evolving with time.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful evolution, and I would love to know that every family gets out of that mythical zone. That zone जिसमें कि सब taboo है, taboo zone से निकले, and we are free enough to discuss stuff like this like adults. But tell me this, Kshama. I know this journey hasn't been easy on you, especially considering the society around, right? They have made your life a bit tough, I guess. I've been going back and forth with you since June when you got married. Well, first of all, congratulations. I did not say it like on air.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and I'm so happy that you are so happy. But tell me this: इस खुशी में क्या बोलते भंग डालने के लिए बहुत लोग थे who were like on your nerves, right? How did you deal with them? And I don't want to ask कि क्यों थे, because we know क्यों थे, because it was something new, something different, and which was everybody is like, no, not acceptable. But what kept you going?
So what exactly happened? Because people, as you said, this was something new, and whenever something new happens, society cannot take it.
Yeah.
I believe society gets divided into two parts. 50% are the people who supports it because they relate with it.
Right.
There are 50% who do not want to lose their grounds, the belief grounds which they have. So they would object it. So it was quite difficult, and that was the reason I was going to get married on 11th June, but I got married on 8th June because I did not want any heckle or chaos during the wedding day. Yeah. So I did not tell anyone, but I just preponed the wedding, so it goes quite well. But what kept me going was I really made my mind that people really say that I'm very young to decide such a big thing. I have not seen life. I have not. There is still a lot of time where I might find love, I might find someone else, or maybe I'm not mature enough. But actually, I took a lot of time. Okay. I believe I can get married to someone, no issues. I can actually get married to a man or a woman or anyone. Okay. But am I going to get that kind of life which I desire? And I'm not going to settle for less. Okay. Because we talk about equality, but is there equality in reality? Because the moment a woman leaves her house, when after she gets married to a man's home, there is no equality. So I would never do that, and I don't think, at least it is a very long shot, I don't think even in near future I'm going to find such a partner or such a house where I'm going to find this 50-50 equality among men and women and there is no patriarchy. We have been fighting against patriarchy since way back. So that was the thing which was in my mind, and I was very clear that I'm not going to find such a man or a woman or a family.
Okay.
That was the reason I was very firm on my decision that I am the best person I can be with. Plus, I know myself since 24 years, and I can never know someone that well. And I guess I know the goods and bads about me, and I am going to accept myself 360 degree in all the ways, and I guess the other person would not be able to do so.
Wow, that's beautiful. But Kshama, tell me this. Is Kshama ever going to cheat on Kshama? Do you think your love hormones are going to act up one day and you might feel a thing for some other person one day and you're going to cheat on Kshama? Will that happen to you? Do you feel you're going to do that to Kshama? If I may ask.
So, to be honest, I would say psychologically you do feel for someone even if you're married. If you see married people,
Yeah,
they do, when they find someone attractive, they do give a glance at them.
right.
But the question is, are you going to act on it?
Right.
That is very psychological for you to like someone. If you see someone very good looking, if you are relating your thought with someone, but I have never acted on it, and I would never act on it. But again, there comes a time, I always choose my happiness over everything. And I have one more tattoo which says I choose me, so I'm going to choose me over everything. If something is making me happy, I would take that path.
Okay. What if the other person is making you happy? Will you? I think as far as I know, with this conversation, knowing you, I think you'll again choose happiness. And whatever makes you happiness, who the hell we are to judge anybody, right? So more power to you on your decision to keep yourself happy, I would say.
Yeah.
So Kshama, you are a rebel, I think. So like बचपन से, since childhood, आप ऐसी ही थी? Making decisions on your own. बचपन से ही ऐसे?
I have been like this.
I don't think I needed to ask it. But sometimes in certain people's lives, they take U-turns, right? That's the reason I asked. बहुत दूसरों के decisions पे चलते चलते, then they just decide, okay, that's it. I'm going to live my life on my own terms, and then people do that. That's the reason I asked you. But such an amazing journey you're going through, Kshama. And how was honeymoon?
Yeah, the honeymoon was quite amazing. I actually spent 8 days there in Goa, and I found peace within when I was at beaches, and I was just having interpersonal communication. Even the monsoon is my favorite season, so most of the time it was raining, and I really had a good time. Actually, I stayed in a hostel, so I met many other people as well who interacted with me. Few of them knew me, few of them got to know about me. Again, there were usual questions: why would I marry myself? But what I saw, the way they have answered, like there was one person. He said, "I know you from somewhere," and I said, "From where?" And he was like the one who spoke against the patriarchy and who got married to herself. So I was getting a feeling where people are not only looking at it with a negative perspective, people are also having a positive perspective. But I would say, yes, there would be people who would think you're quite young, you might did it for publicity, or I wouldn't deny that there were not such people. But of course they won't say it on your face. But I got the support from there, and I really had a good time.
That's amazing. So I really keep following like your posts and stuff. When you were, I think you, I am glad that you have healed, but you went through some I think you got a fracture or something, right? And
Yes.
I think I remember a post from you in your stories where you mentioned, I promised to take care of myself and I'm doing that. And that was so uplifting honestly, and it's a beautiful thing that you're doing, listening to your heart. हमेशा दिल की सुननी चाहिए. हर कोई बोलता है, but जब कोई करता है तो बहुत लोगों को प्रॉब्लम होती है, right? But
True.
kudos to you for sticking up for your dil and for your heart, and more power to you, Kshama. Tell me, आप हमारे जो listeners हैं फिलहाल आपको सुन रहे हैं, आप उनको क्या बोलना चाहती हैं?
I would just like to say, like, histories mein and everywhere, even in the books, in the mythological books, everyone has keep on saying the love is within.
Yeah.
Look inside and you'll find your peace. But we do not tend to do that. We are always finding that happiness from somewhere else. We actually burden the other person with the responsibility to make us happy. So I more of feel like until and unless you are not looking within, you are not making yourself happy. One more thing is the way you treat yourself, you teach other how to treat you.
Right.
So that is what I have learned, to set up standards for myself, to set up boundaries for myself, to make sure that I treat myself well. So that is how people are going to treat me, to respect myself and keep myself first. Because I believe until and unless I'm not happy, until and unless I'm not feeling right, I'm not going to make other people feel the same way.
That's beautiful. मतलब आप real life queen हो. Queen में तो कंगना सिर्फ honeymoon पे गई थी, but you're like living a honeymoon वाली life, I could say, without the worry in the world, just living your life at your own terms, and more power to you on that, Kshama. I feel proud as a woman. It's really uplifting that women
Thank you so
in
much.
2022 can take their stand and do what they wish to, even if there's like hundreds of people standing knocking at your door, and protesting, why are you doing this, even if it's none of their business. So more power to you on that, Kshama. And I just want to ask one more question. Do you have like future plans with Kshama, like घर खरीदना है, या the typical शादी के बाद जो लोगों के plans होते हैं ना, कि कोई दूसरे city में move होना है, घर खरीदना है, and stuff like that, like post marriage वाली planning होती है. Is it the same in your case or is it different?
So I have been living out alone for quite a time, and I want to buy a whole house. That has been my dream since, I guess, few years, and I am actually on it. And I really want to decor my own home. So I have been deciding on that. Apart from it, no, I have just been thinking how to grow as an individual, because because I'm married to myself, I don't have to seek validation, I don't have to take permission, or I don't have to take care of someone else as well with me. As I always used to mention, if I want to leave the city, if I want to leave the country, I would also need to look at my partner about his job or her job, whether they want to do the same. Like, I do not have obligations, I do not have any boundaries, I do not need any validation. So I'm free to grow as an individual, and I'm focusing more on that.
That's amazing. Kshama, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for the privilege of your time. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so